All right, looks like players are shuffling up here. On the top will be Bradley with Katakuri, and on the bottom is Dante with Sakazuki. It's a very nice Diddy Kong Racing. It's kind of like a pet, like we've seen in other ones, but not quite. Instead, it's just a very
Nope.
cool piece.
Nope, but it does look like there might be dog toys in the background there, so we'll see
That is possible.
if that pupper comes over.
Not impossible. In the meantime, looks like players are getting set up. I believe that Katakuri in this matchup likely wants to go first. No, second. You'd probably rather have 8 and 10 drop on curve than you would have something like a Parasparrow. So I assume we'll play towards the late game if you have the choice. But we'll see what happens here. Players are drawing their hands, setting out their life, and we are going to get underway here. Alrighty. We are ready to go. Let's see who gets their first Dawn available, and it will be Katakuri going first. All right, Sakazuki going second, and here we go. 2 Dawn. What are we cycling out of the hand this turn? Gonna get rid of a Hina, draw a new card. Very reasonable. Do we have a brand new to play? We do not. Passing the turn over. Katakuri's turn. Could see Parasparrow with our Dawn.
Oh, we are going to see Parasparrow with that Dawn.
And
we're going to see
we are going to
5K
attack
attack.
with 5K.
I like the swing evens because, like I said, you either get the damage that you're looking for or you get hand depletion here. So, I mean, I think the
Yep.
5K attacks are always so nice. Of course, that's what you have to do this turn because you don't have any more Dawn to commit. But, against Sakazuki, I think swing 5 is always such a nice play against them.
Absolutely. On the Sakazuki's 4 Dawn turn here, plenty of options available to them. Looks like we're just going to go first with a discard of Tashigi to draw a new card. And then probably an attack. Yeah, attack for 5 even. -1 on the Parasparrow is the important thing here. Opens up something like a Rob Lucci that could be played to add to your board plus clear that. Card advantage stays pretty neutral between that entire exchange, but nonetheless, getting the body on the board is the thing that most importantly matters. If you don't have that, Borsalino being a fine option here as well. No problem with that. I think the worst of all the options would be if you had to Rebecca this turn.
Ooh, find another Parasparrow.
That's pretty nice.
That is very nice. All right, we're going to see Rob Lucci come. Oh, Borsalino come down.
Okay.
Borsalino here to block
no Rob
some
Lucci,
5K attacks.
No problem with that. Borsalino's obviously fine. Gives us value both on the attacks and blocks.
Yeah. Also means it can't be Thunderbolted away.
Correct. Yeah, you can't just play a Thunderbolt for the value. It looks like we're going to go for an attack of 7.
Looks like we have 3 7K attacks this turn.
Yep, that's probably what the line's going to be.
But
taking the first one makes a lot of sense. Taking the second one gives you the option. You could block and discard, or you could. I like block and discard actually. I think if your opponent decides to go 7 on Borsalino again, that means that you could just discard a 2K again. Feels like an upwards battle. I assume you're going to have 2Ks in hand. You pitched Tashigi this last turn, so if you had a 1K, it would have been pitched likely instead of that, or at least a 1K that didn't do a whole lot here. And we are going to pitch another Tashigi out of the hand, and then attack for 7. We're going to look at our own life as Katakuri there, and decide to put that one on the bottom. So we've stacked the bottom of our life now. We got that prepared for the end of the game. We're going to see just a Suro out, which means the attack was on the Borsalino. Yeah, like I said, this feels just a little bit upwards. Feels like you are probably okay with the card being gotten out of hand, but it does mean that you could have gotten a life attack in if that's what you wanted as well. But it seems like the recognition was elsewhere, discarding Rebecca to the Sakazuki ability. And then, what is the plan of attack moving forward? Are we trying to answer these Parasparrows with Houndblaze type of effects to stop them from drawing cards? Are we trying to Rob Lucci this board away? What's the way we can compile this hand together? And it looks like an attack for 5, putting -1 on a Parasparrow, and discarding out of the attack, regardless of where it went. They're all the same. It's Probably an attack on one
Yeah.
Parasparrow, if I'm assuming.
I mean, I think you're happy to let Parasparrows die, but at the same time, you do want to fight over them and make your opponent actually expend resources to remove them. Great Eruption
Absolutely.
is going to bring one down to 0 cost, which means Rob Lucci could clean them both up. You've got 5 done here, so that does make it a little bit awkward, but I think you're happy to take the 2 for 1.
Yep.
Rob Lucci
And
is going
there's
to
the
come down,
Rablucci.
and you're going to
Put
draw a
back
bunch
the
of
value
cards.
cards.
So we're going to do this one at a time. Look at the top 3. We're going to add a Big Mom to our hand. We could also get more Parasparrows.
That's
And
a
we're
big bomb.
looking for the biggest mom. We're going to add 10 drop to hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at top 3 cards here. Going to add, probably looking for like a 7 drop in this instance, or second
How
10
about
drop.
another big mom?
Yeah, I mean, as long as Rob Lucci's giving you enough time for that to be relevant, which, I have to imagine the answer to that is yes. We do have Rob Lucci on the table, but of course Thunderbolt does clean that up. So we could buy
I think I like an
ourselves more
attack for
time.
Borsalino here as well.
I mean, it's tough, right? Because you have the board, but if you swing for 5, your opponent takes it, your Katakuri takes it, you go down to 3 life, your opponent goes to 3 life, but they could hit a trigger. It could be Cracker, Parasparrow, another one.
That's fair.
And you lose the board, right? You have to make your opponent go slower a little bit in order to get through
And
this.
there's a 7 drop coming down.
Okay, well, the interesting
life
part
away.
is that we no longer really need to even swing on our opponent for the rest of the game, or for at least the next like 2 or 3 turns, because we know eventually they're going to get to 0 just off of our Big Mom effects. So if I swing on you, like if I swing for 5 with Katakuri, then ultimately all that means is that Sakazuki has to decide, all right, now I get to just take this life, but if I counter out of it, then I'm going to just lose the card. So is it even correct to swing anymore on leader? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. And that'll definitely probably influence what Dante might want to attack with here. It might be that they don't want to expose the board at all and force you to attack face, in which case you don't want to do that already. So we can attack for 5 at lead, -1 to the 7 cost there. Could possibly open up for something like Great Eruption in the Borsalino as a line, I believe. I believe we have enough time for that.
6K coming across.
Okay, so we are going to open up the board to being able to be attacked. Give that option to our opponent.
I think you counter out of this. I think you counter out of this because you want you do want to take damage, but you want to make sure your opponent's played their removal before you take the damage,
Right.
so that you don't get 2 for 1 by accident.
We're going for Rebecca here. Rebecca's going to get back a Hina. Give a -5 to that.
-4, right? It's a -4. It goes down to 2.
Oh, -4. Yeah, sure.
Okay, and that second Rob Lucci comes down, so this is exactly what we're talking about, where, now if your opponent swings, you'd be happy to take that. So, like, if you were to come across with Borsalino, you would be fine taking that.
I believe so.
But I think you just want to, like, control your triggers a little bit. And now with that being the second Rob Lucci down, you probably are a lot more free to play, like, 2 characters per turn now, if you have it.
Probably. There's always a random amount of punish you would have there, but I think that's a pretty reasonable play. That
I mean, the thing is, like, not only is there 2 Rob Lucci's on the table, but because we've played Rebecca and 2 Rob Lucci's, our discard pile on Sakazuki's side is actually very low. It's only 2 cards right now, and I feel like we don't often end up in a situation where we're counting the resources in our discard pile, but right now, that might be a real limiter. Garatsu comes down to take care of nothing, as we only have 2 life left in Sakazuki's side, but we do have a 6K body.
Is a body.
Now,
the block with Rebecca this turn was also interesting. Like we said, those could have been cards that would have been taken to add to life that are going to be taken away with 10 drop in the future, but nonetheless.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is that's actually like it's kind of real. It's like now you're going to lose those cards because you countered out or you blocked or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas that could have just been, life added to your hand. It does now. Doing that does speed up the game or slow down the game a little bit, which that is space that you're going to need against the 10 drops. So, maybe it's a calculation based on the amount of time that you need this game to go. But yeah, it is interesting knowing that your opponent has 2 10 drops in hand already.
Yeah.
And I think he's doing a really good job of fighting over that 4th life. It's going to make
Yes.
it very difficult to pressure Katakuri in such a way that they don't feel like they can play 10 drop. I just can't imagine that being the reality in this game.
Definitely. I like the pressure that's going on for that. An attack for 9.
Okay, we're going to.
I'm sorry, for 5. I'm sorry. I can't counter.
Well, we're still going to 2K out either way.
Yeah, that's fine. And then equipping 2 here, going to go for 7.
7 with Hina.
Yep.
Okay.
Going to trigger a Sanji.
Exactly what we're talking about, right? Where that card is a trigger, and we're just trying to play around like Rob Lucci eating 2 things for 1 ability.
Yeah.
So that makes it really spicy the way that he countered out over the last turn or 2.
We are down to now, after taking that life, 3 cards in hand from Katakuri's sides. We are a little low. We know 2 cards are 10 drops.
Yeah, I mean, we do have the option of blocking with Sanji if we want to stay at 2 and go up to 3 with our Big Mom effect. Does look like that's the reality. So that's really controlled. I like that. Borsellino come down on the Kadatsu. So okay, it is kind of rough.
Yeah.
Kinda rough.
Do you feel like 10 drop can stabilize you enough against a board of 6 attacks?
I think the answer is you're fine to play the first 10 drop. It's the second one that we're worried about, right?
Agreed. We do know the bottom life already. Also with Katakuri, we stacked that early.
Love to see that 7 drop Borsellino come down. I think that was really the game changer here.
Absolutely. Yeah, clearing out an attacker that could clear something on your board, plus adding the biggest body to the table.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a huge swing. Like, oh, man. Like, if you were left with a Gatsu, I think you're in a fine position. But because he played an enormous character like an 8K and got rid of your Gatsu, you are going to be really suffering. So 10 drop comes down after the Borsellino blocks. We're going to crit that away. So you are down 1 life. It's going to go to the trash. And it was Hina. It's actually really good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Ugh, that's brutal. So now Hina has not. Okay, I don't know. Sakazuki's board is full, so we're
I'm not sure it necessarily matters.
Actually, but... it would be tough to utilize that resource, but we also don't need to.
All right. Now, I don't think we can get through 4 life this turn, but we do know at least one of the cards in our opponent's hand is a 10 drop, so that one doesn't counter.
We're at 3 life right now, and the danger of this is you're going to want to put him down to 1 this turn, but if we do that, there's a good chance that one of those is a cracker. And if you have, I don't know. It could get ugly if your opponent finds a trigger character here.
Something like a Sanji could do double duty. Sparrows, we obviously know are in the deck. Crackers would be an option as well.
I say cracker just because we haven't seen any of those yet.
Yeah, I agree.
But we're also playing Amanda's. I'm probably unlikely that we're playing Smoothie at this point in the meta.
I would assume there's no Smoothies in there, but
it has been a favorite, so we're going to see. That looks like a
Shirahoshi, I believe,
and a very nice version Shirahoshi too.
Yeah. So now we get to clean up the hand. We get to decide right now, is 10 drop worthwhile next turn or not? We'll see what the discards are. So it looks like
Brule and Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt and Brule.
We are a very trigger-heavy Katakuri list with the Brules.
Yeah.
Nice. You love to see that. I mean, that's going to make a very large impact here as Sakazuki's looking to take Katakuri down to 1 or 0 life this turn.
Yeah. Also throws, like, by revealing the Brule, now you've introduced something for Sakazuki to have to think about also. Even if it's not the card you stack to the bottom, they have to now consider, like, that could be a possibility that would be the card that flips out as well. So an attack for 8 coming in. There's one Rob Lucci kind of buried underneath there. Pitching out with 2 Satoris.
Goes up to 9. Protect himself at 2. Now we have like a pretty clear path taking Katakuri down to 1, but are we able to take him down to 0 this turn?
Yep.
So a lot of done. So I think
2 cards left in hand.
Answering the
one
question,
of them should be 10 drop still.
Are we able to take them to 0 this turn? Yes. The answer is yes. We have enough Dawn to do that. Do we want to? Do we want to go that hard? Unsure. Sparrow coming off the life. That matters a lot.
At this point, I think we're discarding the 10 drop, right?
I think we have to. We can't play it. Yeah.
There you go.
I don't think we can play that.
We also just need to like be able to threaten with us to be able to counter out. We
Yeah,
need
we
our
need
opponent
to
to
counter.
commit the Don here.
We need to counter out. That's the thing that you just said that we
Yeah.
need to do. We need to be able to counter out of something.
This is an attack for 7. Can't
right
get out
now,
of this one.
Right now, we might be dead.
Okay, that last card that we knew about at the bottom of life didn't
8.
matter. It was just
Let's go
counter
8.
power, most likely.
Okay, we're going
No,
11.
it's go 11. The game is over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought we had a blocker. For some reason, I thought the Shirahoshi was a Sanji. But yeah, we're just dead.
The game is done.
All right, so let's swap
Let's jump.
back over.